In this video, we're going to be talking about 7 massive dropshipping mistakes that all store owners eventually either fall into or they face some sort of time in their career. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you right now is that transparency with your customers is a pretty big thing here, okay? Because everybody knows that products are coming from China now. Consumers are adapting, okay? So think about it kind of like, consumers are evolving, like humans evolved, right? So they're evolving and they're getting smarter, they're getting wittier, they know that these products are coming from China and, they know about chargebacks. It's a pretty rampant thing. So what you want to do is, particularly on your FAQ pages, now the more transparency you have, the better it's going to be for you. Now, will it actually affect your conversion rates? No. Contrary to popular belief, people think that if you have in the description shipping times anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, on the long end, is that it'll affect conversion rates. Now, it's not going to affect it tremendously. I'm talking literally, it's not going to make like a 5 to 10% or 2-3% if you're doing volume type of negative impact on your store. It's not. What happens here is actually, if anything, it makes it better for you because people know what to expect. People love transparency. So if you can tell them, hey, shipping times are going to be anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks, they're going to like that. But not only that, let me just tell you, being in the market, I know one particular thing that nobody really shares with you about having that little like FAQ or that little line saying shipping time 1 to 4 weeks is that merchant accounts like Stripe and PayPal, I'm not going to say they aren't friendly with this business model, with dropshipping. What I will say is they're not friendly with you not being honest about the shipping times. And then people get charging back. And again, PayPal and Stripe, they have to deal with that because of the fact that you're not transparent. So more than anything, if you want to maintain a good relationship with your merchants, with PayPal, Stripe, or any merchant processor that you have, you definitely want to tell them or tell your customers, hey, look, the shipping time is X, Y, and Z, and then Stripe and PayPal, they'll look at you and they'll take a look at and review your site if something were to ever happen, if you have chargebacks and whatnot, and then they'll see that, you're very transparent. But what this does, telling people that it'll take anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks, will reduce the chargebacks, will reduce the refund requests, and again, it overall is just good business practice. So please, go out there, and if you have a store, I definitely suggest letting people know about the shipping times if you're drop shipping. And speaking of, I kind of want to talk about, I don't know if it's on my list just yet, now that I'm actually going through this, but something that not a lot of people know about, and I definitely want to give this information to you because it's very valuable. So I might add that in as a bonus question if I don't have this yet. The second mistake a lot of store owners make is that they don't check with the supplier if they have enough supply or enough in their current inventory to fulfill all these orders. So if you hit a home run with a product and you end up selling 3, 4, 5,000 units and the supplier only has 400 or 500 units, you have to scramble around. Either a few things are going to happen. Either you're going to find a new supplier, the product quality is going to be, you don't know, or you have to work out deals with them. And again, it really becomes a headache and you're going to be up like 16, 17 hours trying to find the same product and deliver it to your customers. Or what's going to happen is you're going to have to be issuing a lot of refunds, and I definitely always suggest if you can't fulfill a product, definitely offer the refund. Do not keep the money. Do not scam people. Go out there and run a good practical business, and you want to make sure from the start you can save yourself just by asking a simple question. How many orders can you fulfill of this product per month? If they say 100,000 units, you're fine, okay? Now, if they say, oh, we can only get like 500 to 600 units, and again, a lot of suppliers will not tell you that they can only get, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 units. Now, again, let me just say, if they can get only like 5,000 units, that's still fine. But you have to understand, if you're looking at an AliExpress listing, if they have, 4,000 orders and 4.78 stars, hundreds and thousands of feedback, that means those products are moving. So you want to make sure that the supply is there for the demand if you hit a home run. And I see a lot of store owners having to take down products, having to stop ads. And once you stop the ads for a successful product, it's very hard to restart the ad and get the same momentum that you had in the beginning. That's why when you create ads, you don't want to shut them off. But just make sure you can save this headache just by going out there and asking your supplier if they have enough volume for you to go out there and ship to the customers or your customers. So that's question number 2. Now, one of the biggest mistakes I see all the time is store owners going out there and they either get overwhelmed with customer support, they have to, find a new supplier, whatever it is, right? And contrary to the last answer that I gave you, is that if you need to find a new supplier, yet you don't know if there are any suppliers or not, this is where it becomes hard and more so of an executive decision on your end, is that people stop their Facebook ads, okay, when something bad happens, or they stop their Facebook ads without enough data. Do not stop your Facebook ads. When you launch a Facebook ad, get away from your computer, because I guarantee you'll be refreshing every 0.128 seconds trying to see if anybody purchased or the new reach, how much you spent. If you go out there, and again, I'm going to set the precedent straight on this one right now. If you go out there and you run a Facebook ad, within the first hour or two, it's going to say, probably like 188 people reached and $15 spent. You're going to be like, holy cow, this is so expensive. It is, you're right. Within the first day or two, Facebook's optimizing for you. That's why people say, let your Facebook ads run. Because the first one, and in my personal belief, up to 3 days. In the first 3 days, that's what I like to think. But in the first 24, 48 hours, that's good. That's kind of good leverage. But in my own brain, I tell myself all the time, 3 days minimum for Facebook to go out there and actually give me correct data. That's why I let my ads run for 5 to 6 days, because I give that little breaking point, that 48-hour breaking point to Facebook to go out there and optimize. And if you're gonna harp over your ads, once you roll them out, this is definitely not a business model I suggest you getting into. If you're going to be super nervous about how your ads work, right when you launch them and you're going to be refreshing the page every 10 seconds. And again, I know it happens. Okay, I've been there as well. Sometimes you have to let ads run. For example, I have a campaign running with one of my good friends, Tanner J. Fox, and I haven't checked those ads in I'd say like 3 weeks, but I know it's performing. And I want the data. More than anything, I want the data. And to scale them up, actually after this video, I'm scaling them up. I'm taking the data over the last month and a half and using that data to tell me where I go. Yet we've spent around $10,000, $15,000 or so. But again, we have the ability to do that because we have enough cash flow to do that. So what I'm telling you is once you get to this point, roll out ads, see what happens, just keep on rolling out ads. Just keep on rolling. Something's going to stick for you, but please do not pause your ads. Please do not delete your ads if you have them up and running. Let them run, okay, please, please, please. This is the biggest mistake I see a lot of people doing. And nobody talks about this for some reason. Well, they do, but in courses and high-level masterminds. Do not stop your Facebook ads, okay? Do not, because Facebook is an algorithmic CPA or cost per action, whatever the action is, whether it's a purchase, whether it's PPE, whatever it is. So it's essentially a paid advertising platform where they're very algorithmic based, and the algorithm takes time to get your ads kind of syndicated to the right people. So do not freak out if you see like 58 people reached and you're at $9 spent and you think, oh my goodness, this is the most expensive thing. No, it's because they're optimizing for you. That number is going to skyrocket. Typically, it's not real time. So if you spent like $9, you see 58. If you refresh tomorrow morning, you'll see like 1,374 with 12 add to carts, and the price is like what, $15 at that point. So again, it takes time to refresh. Do not freak out. A lot of people freak out, and this is something I needed to talk about. So again, this is the third answer to the question. Do not touch your Facebook ads once you release them for at least 3 days, bare minimum. But again, personally for me, 5 days, $20 a day to let me know my data. All right, so again, let's hop into question number 4. Okay, well, let's talk about this. And this is one of my favorite topics, backends. Okay, backends are super, super, super important. I don't get why anybody doesn't understand this. Is that if I have a store, if we both have a store, similar store, we can have everything the same here, right? Everything the same, we can have the same products, we can have the same layout, we can have the same logo, for Christ's sake. Now, if we go out there and we advertise, and here's the thing, if I have a proper backend built out, meaning if I go and make if we're selling a $10 product, right? You sell a $10 product, I sell a $10 product, yet I'm willing to pay $15 for a $10 sale, and you're only willing to spend $8 for a $10 sale, right? Now, yeah, you have that $2 little kind of profit margin before product cost, but let's just say that $2 is your profit. Now, I'm going -5 every single time. However, I have a backend built out, and how I do that is with email automation. Anyway, how I do this is with email automation. And email automation is really the key here, is because if on day number 10 of the sale, right? So if we both make a sale, day number 10, I might make another $20 sale, but you don't have a post-sale sequence set up. So that means you're not going to be making extra money. That $2 profit is, well, your profit, and you have to keep chasing new sales. And that's, again, if you watched my video yesterday, I talked about tribe building, and tribe building is the reason why, you know, I'm even talking about this particular backend automation right now, is because if you have customers that already purchased from you, they trust you, they like you, they enjoy what you have. If you're delivering properly and, you know, you're actually sending them the products, you're very transparent, they're gonna like what you have. And again, they're gonna be willing to pay more money for more products, but you have to put that in front of their faces. And retargeting isn't the only way to put products in front of their faces. Email is going to be the cheapest route for you to go down. So definitely build out a back end, and you can use that using apps like Klaviyo and mail funnels. And that video I'm actually going to be talking about tomorrow. We're going to talk about the 4 best Shopify apps, or more so 4 best categories of apps, and I'll talk about Klaviyo and mail funnels and all these different apps that I use. So again, you definitely want to build out a back end, because it's very, very important you do so, because if you can spend more than your customer, your competition, excuse me, if you can spend more than your competition, then you're going to win the race every single time. If you're willing to spend $30 for a $15 sale, but know in 15, 20 days from now that one customer is worth an average of $80, that's great, because for every 30 you spend, you make $80 back in 15 days. That's the math here. That's how real businesses operate and work. Because if you're, again, companies that go out there and spend $4 or $5 million on an advertising campaign, they make $0 back before they spend, and they make $0 right as they spend. Most of the time, these companies will go out there and spend, you know, like $3.5 million on an advertising campaign, and all they do is build, you know, awareness and get people into their business because they know the long-term play. Think of Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is, you know, one of the big, or probably one of the biggest companies in the world, brand recognition wise. And essentially, they can go and spend millions of dollars, millions and millions and millions of dollars. They can probably spend up to, you know, $1,000 per customer, because, you know, that customer might be worth $1,500 to them through the life expectancy of the actual customer. So that $500 is their profit. So they're willing to spend up to $1,499 to acquire a customer with that $1 profit. So that's kind of the same way you have to structure, is building out before you actually go ahead and advertising, which is another one mistake that I'm going to be covering pretty soon. So again, make sure you build out an automated email series, a post-sale sequence series. They're very, very important. They're definitely something that I suggest 100% you have before you actually start rolling out any ads, because you're going to make a lot more profit in the long term doing that. Now, back to suppliers, right? So the problem with suppliers is a lot of people, what's going to happen is, if you're new to this, you're going to find suppliers, and it does happen from time to time where suppliers do scam you, meaning they'll provide fake tracking information, they'll accept your payments, but they won't send products. You have to be very on top. You have to take a look at the feedback. You have to take a look at, if you go on the AliExpress, take a look at the actual wholesaler page, the vendor page. Take a look if there's like flames right next to it and see the reviews on it. There's a lot of stuff that you need to go out there and do to make sure that the supplier is trustworthy, and you're not just going out there and, you know, relying on somebody just because they have a good product, a good price, and if it's too good to be true, it's probably because it is. So essentially, what I want you to do is do your research, take a look at their feedback, and more than anything, see how they talk to you. If they respond really quick, if they're willing to give you, you know, their WhatsApp number, if they're willing to go off of AliExpress to communicate with you, I definitely suggest doing that. Now, one thing that I do want to go ahead and talk about is this really quickly. You want to use an app more than anything called WeChat. Now, WhatsApp is banned in China right now, as far as I'm aware and as far as I heard, and WeChat is the supplement for WhatsApp. So if you can't get, you know, your vendor in China to reach out to you on WhatsApp, more than likely it's because they're banned from WhatsApp over there and they use WeChat. And if you use WeChat, it sounds a lot more, it doesn't sound a lot more, it just makes it seem like, you know what you're doing, because a lot of people, they'll do WhatsApp and they'll email through AliExpress, and not a lot of people know about WeChat, and it's very, very, very important, because at that point they won't try to swindle you out of more money just because they see, hey, you might be an American, hey, you might be, you know, in the UK, you're not in China, you don't really know the prices. So kind of a little tip, definitely something super powerful. Use WeChat, get their WeChat phone number, and just message them on the phone. It makes you look a lot more professional too. So again, that's one of the biggest tips that I want to give you right now. Now, rushing your store just so you can go out there and have something is the worst thing to do, because Here's the thing. I used to do this all the time. Now, I will say the first store that I had was a freaking home run because I rushed it out. But the market changes. That was like 2 years ago. The market does change. So what I want to tell you is that for you to properly be profitable, set everything up from the beginning. That's why if you take a look at me building out Vivere, I could have had it out 2 months ago. I could have started taking pre-orders. I could have this and that, but I'm not. I'm setting up mail funnels. I'm creating different tri-funnels pages. I'm doing a lot of different things in the back end of Vivere because, like I said, my business model is if I'm going to be making $60, okay, revenue for a single sale, which, you know, might be maybe $30, $40 profit or $50 profit, whatever it is, I want to be able to go out there and spend $70 to make $60, but I want my model to be recurring where if I go and acquire somebody for $70, yeah, I take a $10 hit, but in 10 days, I get a new subscriber or a new customer to buy into a subscription model for $20 a month. And if I know my retention rate is like 8 months at $20 a month, that's $160 for me going out there and spending $70 and taking a $10 hit. So my profit would be $150. I hope that makes sense. It sounds a little complicated, but that's how I'm structuring right now. Creating email series, going out there and creating product funnels, finding congruent products, seeing what else we can roll out in our store, building out a catalog, contacting influencers, having everything lined up before you go. Because here's the thing, and think about it like this. If you're going into war, because business is a very, very big war ground. If you're going into war, are you going to go in and get on the battlefield and say, all right guys, I'm here, I'm ready, where's all the gear, where's all the stuff, I'm ready to get to war, let's start fighting, right? No, you're going to go well prepared, you're going to go well equipped, and you're going to be alert and pretty much focused at any given time. This is business, same thing. You need to be alert, you need to be focused, you need to be prepared before you actually get into the battle. So don't rush something out there just because you want to make, or try to make some quick cash. It's not worth it in the long run. Set yourself up right from the beginning, and here's the thing. There's this little word, all right, I got this. There's a little word called pivoting, okay? And if your Pitbull niche store doesn't work, guess what, my friend? Change the domain name, change the name of your store, edit the products, take off all those products, and now you don't have a Pitbull store anymore. You can have a wallet selling store now. Pivot, very simple. Once you set everything up, it's very easy for you to pivot if one model doesn't work, okay? So again, that's just a tip that I want to give you. Very useful. I wish somebody told me that in the beginning rather than creating 3 million different stores because one didn't work, close it down. No, take what you have, change all the settings, the names. For example, mail funnels. If I wanted to go out there and have mail funnels on SDG, Shop Dirty Gamer, and then I wanted to pivot Shop Dirty Gamer to, I don't know, selling chocolate covered pretzels, I just have to change the from name. I just have to change the products. I just have to change the store name. So essentially, there's nothing really that happens except the My Shopify domain that I use, and if I use it in Facebook ads as well, kind of stays the same. So if you're going to create a My Shopify domain, so it can be like Dan Store 123, you can pretty much name it something that's a little bit broader and have the domain mask what the actual niche is or the store name is. I hope that makes sense. So again, that's my answer to that question. Now here's the 7th one, okay? Big mistakes. And maybe you've watched this all unfold already, but I made a video saying how I was sued for using an image. Using incorrect images, using images you don't have licenses to, going to Google and just grabbing an image right from Google can land you in a lot of trouble. It could land you in a world of trouble and having the entire photography community hating you. So, I know that firsthand. So one of my biggest tips, one of the biggest mistakes that I see is a lot of people going out there and doing that. Now, here's the thing, I'm not going to talk too much about the court case or anything, but I had to pay a settlement to a photographer for an image that somebody else put on their site after I sold them the site. So again, it became a little tricky because I was the previous seller and I couldn't prove that I didn't put the image there. So one lesson that I learned throughout this entire lawsuit is that you don't want to go out there and get images off of Google. This should be a no-brainer, okay? So again, I didn't learn that because I was already using stuff like Photo Dune. There's a lot of people have been posting about Pixels, P-E-X-E-L-S, I think it is. Run a Google search. Just look for stock images, okay? And if not, get out there, get an iPhone, get a camera, do what you have to do just to take your own pictures. Maybe it's even better if you get your product yourself to take pictures of your own product and then send it to somebody on Upwork or Fiverr for 10, 15 bucks and have them completely white out the background. So if I go like this right over here, take a picture of this, I can actually go ahead and have just the headphones, right? Now if I'm holding it with a string, what's going to happen is I can take a picture of this and then I can send it to somebody on Fiverr, or you just go to clippingmagic.com and just have a transparent background or a white background. It's that simple. You can create your own images like that. It's not that complicated at all, but please don't use other people's images. It can get you in a lot of trouble and make you pay a lot of money. I personally had to pay over $30,000. I think it was closer to $40,000 more than anything, with lawyer fees and anything, just for an image that, for a store that I unfortunately wasn't even an owner of. I just sold the store. But again, that's unfortunate. It's a lesson that I learned. It's a mistake that I made as well, and something that, again, all these mistakes I've made myself. That's why you're getting use out of them. Now, I have around 4 minutes left to talk about this, all of this, what I want to talk about. So the bonus question that I'm going to go ahead and answer for everybody is this. Let's talk about shipping times, right? And I mentioned this in the beginning of the video. There's actually 2 different e-packet services, okay? Now, e-packet is, a faster way where the USPS works with China. The United States Postal Service works with China. However, there's 2 different levels of e-packets that nobody knows about. There's one, it's like standard, and then there's fast shipping. Now, fast shipping, it's more money, okay? I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It's more money. But if you can, try to talk to your supplier and talk to them about the expedited e-packet service. There's different levels of e-packet services, and nobody talks about this, unfortunately. And not a lot of people know about this because not a lot of people run e-com stores that try to teach you about this. So there's different levels of e-packet services, and I definitely suggest you going out there, talking to your supplier about the e-packet services that they offer and seeing how to expedite the shipping times. Because rather than waiting anywhere from 10 to 15, 20 days, you can actually have the product in your customer's hand within 4 to 7 days, which again is very, very good, especially if you're trying to build and scale up a business. So I definitely suggest, as a little bonus in here, I wanted to let you know that you can talk to your supplier about different e-packet services and getting the product delivered faster to your customer. Now, before I end off this particular video, like I said in the previous one, I'm going to say the next one, I'm going to keep on saying it until it's gone. What I want to let you guys know is I don't know how many likes I hit on the last video where I asked if there's 500 likes on that video. Then I'm going to go ahead and leave this course open. So I maybe hope there's 500 likes, but if there isn't, I want to let everybody know that I do have a 100% free, and once you are grandfathered in, you don't ever have to pay for this. For this month of October, I'm giving away Shopify Masterclass, and Shopify Masterclass is where you go out there and you're going to learn how to properly create a Shopify store, do the research, create Facebook ads, run mail funnels, run different email automated funnels, run try funnels. You're going to be learning a lot of stuff in there, and it's free. And more than anything, in this particular video as well, I want again 500 likes on this video, and because I'm going to be releasing this before November 4th. So if we hit 500 likes on this video as well, I'll go ahead and keep it open. So now we have 1,000 likes total, and I will not ask anybody for any more likes, just to leave this course open, because I know you guys have decided, okay, let's leave it open. So 500 likes on this video, I'll leave it open the entire month of November, and at the end of November, I'll ask again and see what you guys want, if you want it. And again, we're talking to each other because you guys are part of the Dan fam, and I'm taking care of you guys take care of me. So I'm gonna make sure that we're all eating around here. So essentially, the link's in the description for this free Shopify course. Definitely suggest getting in. Over 5,824 people have gotten in since what is this? October. I opened this up October 4th. And today is the 29th, as you can tell, pre-recording this, don't worry. So in 25 days, almost 6,000 people enrolled into this free course. And I'm looking to at least hit 10 to 15,000 people in this free course to really help them and expedite their entire learning curve and just really helping everybody out. So essentially, if you want a free Shopify course that you don't have to pay for, and it teaches you way more than what people are charging you $500 for, and I know this for a fact because I've had at least 10 people already say, holy cow, I've paid X, Y, and Z over $200, $300, $400, $500 to learn this free information from you. And again, like I said, I will be charging for this particular course, but if we hit 500 likes on this video and the one before, what I'm going to tell you is that I'll keep it open for the entire month of November as well. And again, thank you so much for coming out here and watching this particular video. It's always a pleasure of mine to have you here because, again, you're part of the Dan fam. I hope you're enjoying this new content. I hope you're enjoying everything you're getting here. Just amazing. And I'm going to let you know something, okay? And I have about a minute before the camera cuts me off. on the Ecom Dudes channel, right, I'm actually bringing on a few guests. And these guests, they're not information product people, okay? They're actually e-commerce store owners. And they own very, very massive stores. And one person I'm trying to get on is the owner of Fashion Nova. So I'm going to try to get him on, but I have a mutual friend who knows him, and essentially I'm going to try to do my best. Fashion Nova is $1 billion. It's a Shopify store that does $2 million every single day. So I'm going to try to do that, just letting you guys know. No promises yet, but I do have somebody who's doing anywhere from $25 to $40 million a year with Shopify. Doesn't create info products. I'm going to try to get him on the Ecom Dudes channel, but I'll keep you guys in the loop over there. And again, thank you so much for being out here. Dan fam, always a pleasure. Shoot me those likes. Give me a comment if you want more videos like this, and I will go ahead and make more videos like this. It's been my pleasure. Dan fam, yet again, it's been real. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.